Hello, this is Kelly from Root Pursuit, and today we are making these mini junk journals. So they're super easy and they use supplies that you probably already have. So all right, let's go. It doesn't involve a signature. We are using envelopes, security envelopes for this project. So you're gonna need 12 of these, and I am using the 6 3/4 envelopes. So those are just your standard, what you use to, pay your bills or put your checks in to pay your bills, possibly, if you still do that the old-fashioned way. All right, so yeah, so we've got, I'm using 12 envelopes, and a lot of the envelope books that you make, you kind of glue these one to the next one, but this one's a little bit different. We're relying on that 3-hole punch to create a spine. So this is how it goes. All right, so I did paper clip these into batches of 6, because if you do too many at once, then your lines will end up being uneven. It's just too big of a bunch to get through your scissors all at once. So that's all right. So we're just lining these up and then giving it a little bit of a length there. You should use approximately, let's see here, we want about a 1/2 inch. Let's see how big this one is. This one was a little over a 1/2 inch. It's more like, let's try it in centimeters. It's like 1.5 centimeters is really how you want it. So let's just measure the 1.5 centimeters. So we have a little bit more than we need on this one. So we're just gonna trim that extra off. Those are staying together so they all stay even. Okay, get those out of the way and measure this one to the 1.5, and this one is just slightly longer, so probably a good width. Okay, we got all our crumbs. Okay, so now we have our 2 sections, and I'll even that up a little bit more. And you don't have to be real particular about this part, because you're not going to be able to see it. Just as long as you've got enough room in there for the 3-hole punch, then you should be good. So we just want to center that first one, and then kind of eye up the next one. And you can measure these out if you like, but I'm not going to do that. And then you want to basically line up your envelopes with the 2 packs so that you are getting this whole punch line the same as that first grouping you're punching. And that is a little tough to go through, so just kind of keep those together. There we go. Okay, got our 3rd one. Perfect. Okay, so now I'm going to take these off and then basically line them back up, and then just put, 1 paper clip for the whole bunch, and that'll keep it all together. And now we can look at our cover. So we've got a front cover. Now this size, I ended up using the paper pack, this Paper Studio pack. It is 4.5 inches by 6.5 inches. So I just use a paper, 2 pieces of paper from here, and I did reinforce them. So whatever paper you choose, you want it to be, you know, even if you measure it out to 4.5 by 6.5 inches, you want it to be, you know, a little bit thicker, like cardstock, for the cover item. So, and then once you've got that lined up, then you can match up your hole again. And hopefully you don't have so many layers through here that you're... So this is where I am going to line this up where I want it, and I do want to have some overlap here and still a little bit on this end. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take my pencil, and that is how I'm going to mark this hole. And I'll center them on here. There we go. Ready? Make sure this is the right side. Okay. So this is the correct side here. So what I'm going to do is, now this is, so basically I'm going to glue my front cover, just the spine, what we're calling the spine. So our spine is going to have this automatic crease, and I'll show you on here as well. So you see this part stays together, and then the rest of the book just kind of opens like so. So we're only gluing that first envelope to the cover. So we basically just put a little bit of glue on around that edge, and then line up our holes. Okay, and once we do that, then we want to find that other spine edge and just give it a fold right at that line. So, gives us a nice little spine, and then we can bend it back the other way. And then we've got that first part, and it's staying together because of those paper clips. So that is pretty handy right now. And then we can just do the same thing to the back. And I think I'm going to do it this way. Okay. And once we have that lined up just where we want it, now, I did, for this one, decide to round the corners, but I don't know if that looks really great with it because the envelopes have corners, and you can't trim the corner if it sticks out. So that's up to you. Oh, I did that on the wrong end. Oh no, I did. Oh boy. All right. Then punch out your back cover hole, and you want that line centered, that circle centered, so it all lines up. And then we're going to do the same thing on this side, which is glue it onto that envelope. So we only want to do it, glue it right up into that line, that natural crease that you have in the envelope. So that, here's the natural crease. And then we're gonna line up our holes for the 3-hole punch. Make sure all our covers are lined up and our paper looks good. And there you go. So now at this point, with those glued together, we can take our string. So I like to just, before I decide what kind of ribbon I'm gonna use, because you can use any kind of ribbon or yarn for this, I just use some thinner ribbon to tie it together, just to keep it in place before I mess around with the heavy duty stuff. So yeah, so this is a, you know, pretty quick little junk journal. Works pretty good, very easy, and you know, it doesn't require a ton of craft supplies. You really just need, you know, your 3-hole punch, some paper and your envelopes, maybe a little bit of decorative paper, and then also what we're going to add into the middle, well, and this part is totally optional, is just decorating it the way you want to, whether that involves, you know, pretty papers, various junk journal supplies, I guess, but or writing paper and whatnots. So I'm just gonna remove the paper clips from the inner part, and that's our little book. So let's just add, maybe we can add a little, I don't know, something to the front, perhaps. Oh, that would look really cute, so let's use that. Okay, give this a really cute cover right off the bat. And this is a really nice size because, you know, it's sort of a take-along size where you could throw it in your purse, knock over your glue, anything. All right, so got that right on there. Oh, that looks really cute. And then for the inside, you know, we can take some, you know, any kind of lined paper that you have on hand. I have these little notebooks. You could open up a journal paper with pretty paper on it. This has lined paper. And, you know, just glue it right in. So, why not? And that is really all I would do is, you know, ooh, went a little funky there with that corner. That's okay. And then we just put our glue on that paper right along the edges so it stays down pretty nicely. Don't need much of any in the middle. This is very light paper. That's okay. And you could even use a stamp. And, you know, jazz it up a little bit. Seems to be my signature little move there for creating those. So yeah, you can just basically, you know, leave these blank if you want and use that as a writing space, and then you have the option of putting, you know, decorative papers over on this side or line paper. So, you know, you can pretty much do whatever you want to fill up these pages, and you can even use these as pockets. So that comes in handy as well if you want to decorate this part. And oh my gosh, my dog is got her squeaker toy. She's pretty happy. And you know, stamp this section let's see what I've got. Might as well do more of the same, right? Why not? Just overlap them a little bit on each one. There we go. So, you know, there's lots you can do with it. So I hope this inspires you to make your own little mini journal. And yeah, as always, you know, thanks for coming along, and I will talk to you later.